Greetings, this is Howard. This is a continuation of making connections, grammar, and everyday experience. So again, I am presenting a continuation of the series regarding making connections when teaching grammar for students of all ages. So I discussed about what is grammar. So basically, in every language, Spanish, Chinese, Japanese, there are rules that require speakers and writers to form a pattern or a structure of how ideas come together. So basically, grammar is the rules. Similar to our everyday situation, we need rules for driving. We need the rules for expectations at work. So language itself has rules. This is how language works. So this is what grammar is about. So why do teachers need to make connection with everyday life? We need to help students engage. We need to allow students to have fun. We need to connect their learning with rigor. And how do we make connection? By using dialogue, teaching through context, modeling. So for today's series or continuation, I am focusing on using dialogues. Why do students need to learn grammar? Well, grammar is a part of our everyday conversation. The way we speak, whether we speak formally or informally, grammar can have us solve problems. Grammar can increase our awareness about certain situations, foster our confidence. So today I am focusing on using dialogues. Dialogues keep students inclusively engaged. They reflect, they exchange ideas on various topics, practices, and concerns. So this is what I'm focusing on for today. So the lesson target focus on the students will be able to demonstrate command of the conventions of the standard of English by using collected nouns. So if I put this for the students to look and visualize, they might have a hard time understanding. So I break down into the I can statement. So the I can statements say, I can use collective nouns in different ways. So when I teach this lesson, I want the students to know what they are learning. I may have the students to volunteer and read. And after that, I have the whole class to engage in reading the I can statement so they can remember and they can synthesize in their mind what they are learning for this particular lesson. So for the warm-up activity, I will have these images display or maybe on a card, and I will invite the students to look and think about the images and to describe each image. Then, after a few minutes, I will invite the students to participate in Think, Pair, Share. So when I do this, they can engage in conversation, having a dialogue with each other, and be able to share knowledge about what they know or what they might not know. They can learn from each other by using the dialogues, and it's keep them engaged in the learning process. At the same time, we have to monitor their conversation so we can ensure that they are on task with the learning target. Invite the students to think of if the words below here match with the image above from their conversation of think, pair, share. So then after that, have a volunteer or have the class to read these words together and think about how these words connect with the pictures. So that would be the introduction to your to this lesson about collective nouns. So for direct instruction, I will have a team of students working in pairs to read this dialogue together. So to help those students who may not know how to read, we can do choral reading together as a class. And after that, have pairs of students practice reading the dialogue about basketball practice. And after they read the dialogue, have them to look for words that identify a group of. Okay. After they read the dialogue, give a mini lesson about what is a noun, because some students may forget what is a noun. Okay. So give a mini lesson what is a noun, which is a person, place, thing, or idea. Sometimes for the younger kid, they might not know what an idea is, but go ahead and share with the students, even younger one, that a noun is a person, name a person, name a place, name a thing, or an idea. If they don't know what is an idea, use like love, use like birthday, use like joy, and as if they can touch those words. Because they cannot touch, then it's become an idea. Okay. So give a mini lesson about what is a noun. So some of the students who may forget what is a noun and be able to have that reconnection. So then, for example, ask the student to identify who the mother is, what makes this school a noun, what makes a computer a noun, okay? Then go back to these words, team, family, player, and ask the students to think about these words, okay? Ask students to think the differences between a team and a player. So have them to, when we ask the student to think, then you can ask them to work in pair to discuss. So when we ask them to work in pair to discuss, they are having a dialogue. They're having a conversation about the subject matter. So for direct instruction, invite students to work in pairs to think of words that names a group of. Then display the images for the students to view. So these are the images or photos that represent group of things. Okay, a herd of deer, a flock of birds, a herd of cows, a choir, class, family. Invite the student to determine if the images are collective noun, if these are collective noun. Invite the student to work in pairs or small group and make sentences about each image and read aloud for the class. For the students who may need more help, the teacher may support the student by writing down the sentences for them and guide them in reading their sentences. So then after writing the sentences, sharing what they wrote, have the class to work in pair to act out this dialogue or conversation. Now, to support students who are struggling readers, do the core reading of this dialogue first before have them to act out. So the dialogues include words that are collective nouns that identify a group of. So, for example, herd, family, flock, colony, hive, audience, and swarm. Then after the reconstruction, do the closure. Review the purpose of collective nouns. Ask students to identify words that are collective nouns. Invite the students to work in groups or pairs and identify collective nouns for the following sentences. For closure, you may have already create a list of words. This will be the gallery walk. So invite the students to experience a gallery walk with pairs. The gallery walk has pictures of collective nouns. Invite the students to choose one card, and make a short conversation or dialogue about the card. Of course, you want to make sure that you walk around and monitor and help the student to come out with ideas. Sometimes you may have one or two students who are very quiet. So by walking around, by monitoring, you have to ensure that everyone is on task and everyone is learning. So this is Howard. This has been a lesson on teaching collective noun using students' experiences and using dialogues, because from their experiences, they have conversation, they have dialogue with each other every day. So this is another way to teach grammar, making grammar fun instead of just paper and pencils or doing Google Classroom work.